Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to episode 29 of In the Red Corner. This week we're going from the unremarkable to the unbelievable. You like that one?
Yeah.
Last week was a dud on all fronts, just an absolute dud.
Yes.
But this week has to deliver. We've got Liverpool, Chelsea, United, City coming up. The Champions League's back, and of course we've got UFC 259, which is stacked from the very bottom to the very top. It's unbelievable. So to live on this hype with me, I've got, as always, Mr. Grant Winstanley. How are you, sir?
I'm great, mate. One thing you missed off that list, by the way, is Europa League.
Oh yeah. The
Emmerdale Cup, don't forget that.
The Emmerdale Cup.
Don't forget Thursday nights.
I would love to see Paddy present that trophy at the end of it.
Yeah, Pat Dingle.
Pat Dingle.
But anyway, as always, we always start with an opening question. Obviously, it's my turn. We're going to go in the world of football.
Right on.
And I had a thought today, and I thought, well, I'll throw this at yourself. So, Steven Gerrard is closing in on a league title for Rangers. They've not been in contention / won the league for 10 years in the top flight of Scottish football. It's also been 12 years since Tottenham Hotspur have won a cup. So my question to you is, if Jose Mourinho wins the Europa League with Spurs this season, wins them a trophy and guarantees their Champions League qualification, what's better, that or Steven Gerrard's job, what he's done with Rangers? What's more remarkable?
My first thought was to say the Gerrard thing, but at the same time, in the Scottish League, it's generally a two-horse race, isn't it? So for them, every year they've got like a 1 in 2 chance of winning that league. You know, so to go 10 years without it is more of a massive underachievement. Obviously, it's great that Gerrard's managed to do it, and he's doing it in fantastic fashion. And there's no reason they can't win the Europa League as well. Spurs, it is a big achievement because, what was the last thing that they won?
The League Cup in 2008 under Juan de Ramos.
Right. Yeah, I don't even remember that.
League Cup.
Okay. And it's hard because despite them being thereabouts and having like a half decent squad, they've still always been, miles away from the league, really.
Yeah.
But you'd have thought they could have picked up more trophies along the way. Who's a bigger achievement? It's a good question, that. I think the Gerrard one's a bigger achievement. I think it's going to mean more to more people.
Yeah.
Especially stopping Celtic on because it would have been 10. Obviously, it would have been 10, wouldn't it? Yeah. To stop them, I think it means more. I don't think Spurs I don't think he'll win them a trophy anyway. But I think with them, I just think they probably should have won more. And it's more of like it'll just be a bit of a relief, I think, for them to win that, to win something, to say they've done it, but not so much an achievement, because they've been to Champions League finals and that type of stuff, and have come up short. And I think we always expect Mourinho to pick up some silverware wherever he goes. I think it's Gerrard. I think it's better. I think it's a bigger achievement.
Yeah, and the fact that Gerrard played for Liverpool and Mourinho didn't, I'm only joking. So
that plays a big part. What do you think?
I think Gerrard.
Yeah, right. Can you articulate it better than me?
No, I think it's because when Mourinho came in at Spurs, you kind of expect Champions League. Yeah, right. And you expect a trophy.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's kind of no guarantee now, and they've actually progressed worse in terms of Pochettino. Mourinho was supposed to come in to give him that winning mentality. They got to a Champions League final, great. The nearly men, third in a 2-horse race with Leicester, and it was like, great. And this was supposed to be to kick them on, and they've gone the other way. Whereas the way that Gerrard's gone about it, yes, they employed Gerrard, so they want him to do a good job, of course, but I don't think anyone would have anticipated how well he's done, and the fashion of breaking
it's the style, isn't it, and doing it, and
dynasty, shall we say?
Yep.
And given that Rangers obviously dropped down the leagues, the financial thing a couple of years ago, it was kind of, they've gone stripped it back. They stripped the club back to basics and done that. So I would say Gerrard, and I'd be kind of underwhelmed. I've kind of been underwhelmed with Jose's approach. That being said, Jose's I think only been in the competition twice. and he's won it both times.
Yeah, right.
So this is his third time.
It counts for a lot, doesn't it? Just knowing how to play those teams and being familiar with a lot of those European teams as well.
But I think the overshadowing of, and certainly in the league, Leicester, West Ham, Aston Villa, they play far better stuff. They're looking at a better side than them. And then you look at the players that they've got, you go, you should be getting a better tune out of these.
Yeah.
So I think Champions League / trophy in a Mourinho era, to cut a long story short, should be a given.
Yeah, right.
And it's not.
No, absolutely not. I didn't see the game, but obviously they put 4 past Burnley.
Yeah.
And it is Burnley. And Bale got 2 of them, didn't he?
Yeah.
Have you seen the highlights?
Yeah, I saw the highlights, yeah.
Like any better, or is he just like a Burnley a crap?
It was just one of those, when you've got players like they have.
So like moments of magic rather than like a sustained style of football.
And Gareth Bale, we've been saying it all season, it still is Gareth Bale. And it's like...
He should be doing this every week, shouldn't he?
Exactly, he should be. He should be. It's like, is this a marker of what's to come for the rest of the season? Who knows?
I guess we'll find out.
A couple of games he'll show up and then he's just sat on the bench and picking up a wage,
It's the same for everyone with Spurs. They put a nice win against Burnley up there, but it kind of leads me on to where Liverpool United are at, and it's for Liverpool especially now, it's about putting those, I won't say wins together, but it's about putting the not losing together. So for me, a draw is fine as we go on. Chelsea at the weekend. A draw's fine. We've just got to stop losing. We keep taking 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Similar to yourself, it's about putting those wins on the board, isn't it? If you want to stay up in second place, but you've had 2 kind of dull draws. I feel like dull's going to be the word for the first half of this podcast, but 2 dull draws. If we start with Liverpool, Sheffield United, it was a good win, but that's all it was. I don't want to. Yeah. I'm not getting. I got bloody excited after the Leipzig win. 2-0 Leipzig Champions League. We're back, and then the derby happened, and it's like take the wind out your sails. For me, I've got to look at this Sheffield United result as a good result, but a good result that frankly we should be beating Sheffield United bottom of the league.
Yeah. Like an FA Cup draw. You go, we beat them. Through to the next round.
Good stuff. Yeah, but let's not get too excited about it, because for us now it's about we go to Chelsea this week, or they come to us. It doesn't matter anymore without these crowds, does it?
Yeah.
We got Chelsea this week, and we've got to back it up. We've got to go again, and we've got to start putting some results together against top teams as well. We can't keep slipping up and falling back into it. So I'm looking forward to the Chelsea game of the weekend. Having just played Chelsea, I know it was a bit of a dull affair, but how did they look?
Defensive.
Yeah, right.
For saying.
And how weird is that?
I know.
They've gone from Lampard's attacking youngsters.
Yeah.
And he's just come in. Has he just put the reins on them and been like...
Just well organised, drilled, making it tough to break down, 3 centre-backs, 2 wing-backs, and kind of defensively organised. And it's funny because obviously Man United take all the stick in that affair. It's 0-0. We get all the abuse going, United are rubbish, another draw. And it's like, we're away from home, like you said, crowds, whatever. But who's the club that spent 250 million in the summer and they're happy for this new manager to be parking the bus?
Is it a temporary thing for them, do you think? Is he just come in and just like, let's just shut up shop, let's just get ourselves back on track, do the pragmatic thing, let's do the right thing? And do you think he goes again next year? He has a look. Is that what he's doing, or
Maybe.
is this the style that we're going to expect?
Maybe. And don't forget, obviously, it's not his team. So he's obviously working with the players that he's got, who are good players, and he's gone
attacking-minded players. You would have thought,
exactly,
for the most part.
Exactly. So it was strange, and obviously there was a controversial moment with the whole. I don't know if you heard about the whole referee, what he was saying to Harry Maguire, whether that's true, and the whole VAR and.
Luke Shaw took some heat off the back of that, didn't he, because of his comments?
Yeah, it's quite funny actually, because obviously the moment happens, and it's a handball, like in the modern day with VAR. Yeah. Hudson-Odoi is clearly handballed it in the box. It's a handball, but it's funny because when you hear kind of everything around it, apparently when the collision happened and Greenwood and Hudson-Odoi came together and then a ball hits the hand, apparently it was the Chelsea players that shouted handball.
Wow, right.
But it was their own player. So that was one thing that Solskjaer was saying.
Yep.
And then in his interview afterwards, he was also saying that Chelsea the day before on the website were put an article out there saying, and Manchester United skipper comes to town, Harry Maguire, who has been scrutinised for some of his fouls in the box this year, and uploaded the picture of the first fixture early in the season, when he was kind of pulling down Aspilicueta It wasn't given as a penalty. So Solskjaer was fuming to say he was trying to influence the referees.
Yeah.
And then obviously Luke Shaw was saying that the referee said to Harry Maguire, I can't give it because it's controversial and I'll get like a bit of flack for it, basically. But then Harry Maguire now was back.
No way
United have backtracked, and Harry Maguire said, he misinterpreted that or whatever. But that was the first time like Solskjaer has been kind of like proper riled up, like in his interview afterwards.
Just another example, isn't it? This
but,
City not working.
But, it's just for us. It was just lack of. Can't break them down, lack of creativity, and it's been the theme. The worrying thing for us is obviously this morning it was a Palace game, and again these are always the fixtures that worry me. Yeah. Because I've seen what we've, this is the 4th straight draw away from home. 3 of them have been 0-0. Yeah. That's a worry. That's a worry for me.
Yeah, should be.
And Bruno looks fatigued and tired. So
carried aside for a long period of the season, didn't he?
And now people are on his back going, he doesn't show up and everything. It's like the lad doesn't have a rest, and it just goes to show that if Bruno's not been on form for the last 4 games, we've not been on form. It's not a coincidence.
No. Well, I mean that links back nicely to how Liverpool's bloody season's gone. The players we've got out at the minute, or we've had out the last couple of weeks, they've run them into the ground because they've had to carry the team. The likes of Curtis Jones, he gets the goal against Sheffield United. I think that's it's just rewards for how he's played and how he's stepped up this season. Yeah. I think the good thing for Liverpool now is we're starting to see some players coming back. Yeah. Not so much the big ones, not your Van Dijks and not your Gomez, but Fabinho will be a huge one. I think he'll probably start against Chelsea. Jota's in the mix. I don't know whether he'll start because I think you'd have to take one of the front 3 out.
Yeah, okay.
Not sure. But I think he'll come on. I think he'll play a part. Keita, maybe he'll come in there. He got the last maybe 10, 15 minutes at Sheffield United. So it's good. It's just getting some fresh legs back in there, and hopefully they are fit. They've not been rushed back. Hopefully they're ready to go. Because it'll be a tough game. I think we're going to have the same problem where Chelsea are going to be defensive, and I think the difference is going to be that we're going to have to bring the game to them, aren't we? And it's another question of whether we can. It's another team we need to try and break down. Yeah. And see how we go for it. I think we just need to play our game, really. We need to keep ourselves, do the sensible things, keep going at them, and hope we get one. But I think we will control a lot of the game, and I think they'll be happy. They'll be happy to get out of there with a draw, I would have thought. And I think we can take it, but I think we just got to keep playing, and hope we get that win.
Yeah. Well, going back to us, another concern that I've had, and I've noticed it for quite a while for the majority of this season. Solskjaer is too late with his substitutions. He doesn't like to shake up. He doesn't like to shake the apple cart.
Yeah, right.
First 10 minutes against Palace, we were terrible. Then we got control in the next kind of 15 minutes, and then it fizzled out before half-time. And I was expecting half-time, some sort of hairdryer treatment, the staff getting up about him. And if that was a Jose or a senior manager, a veteran in the game, on that performance at the first half, they should have gone, you, off.
Yeah, showers.
And these 3 lads are coming on.
Yeah, right.
There's none of that.
No.
And it was still...
No impetus, is there?
And so I'm thinking, right, let's come out the traps. And then it was the same thing. It was and then again, 15 minutes, just slow to get some movement going again. It's like, Matic lively. It's like, what's happening? It's like... And it gets like 65, 70 minutes, still not made a substitution.
It's too late after that point, isn't it, to impact the game sufficiently.
Exactly. And then, I look at someone, how many times I've been screaming for Van der Beek.
Yeah, right.
Bruno Fernandes is obviously fatigued. I'm not saying take Bruno off, but all I'm saying, is there not a better time to throw somebody in...
Fresh young legs.
Go, prove this, Donny, you've got 40 minutes here. Yeah. Come on. And see what you can do for us. There's no pressure because we're playing.
Well, I need you to do Bruno's running for him.
Yeah,
simple as that.
You've got the most energy out of anyone because you've had played. Show me something.
Yeah, right.
And you know what? He could turn that game around, get a winning goal, set something up, and then suddenly he's in the team. He'll probably play.
But it's almost like they don't want him. They don't want to give him. It's weird, isn't it?
I know. And it's like, but the options that we had, because obviously Cavani started. Yeah. The worrying thing is Martial was nowhere near it. We were still awful.
Yeah.
We had Cavani, Greenwood, Rashford, Bruno.
Can't even blame Martial anymore.
No. So
that was your out. That's been your out all season.
Martial. I know. Because we saw Ronaldo. So yeah. But that's the worrying thing for me. And then I flash forward now. We've got City. We've got Milan.
Yeah.
We've got West Ham at home.
Yeah.
Leicester away in the cup.
It's a tough run, that.
And then we've got Milan again.
Yeah,
so those 5 games now,
yeah.
they need to shape themselves. They need to get it right. Because Bruno can't have a rest now.
No, he's going to have to go back to back,
been,
isn't he? Yeah.
Like,
and they come thick and fast, the games now. It was one of the points I wanted to make, that once we hit this weekend now, that we're starting to do the back-to-backs of, like, you know, Tuesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Sunday, week on for as long as we progress in Europe, I suppose. Games are coming thick and fast, and there's no time for rest. There's very little time on the training pitch. You've got to just hit your stride. You got to, for Liverpool, it's about taking our chances when they fall to us. But yeah, full on. How are you feeling about the Champions League, the Europa League? Sorry.
I've heard this week that Zlatan may miss one of the times.
First leg, I read that.
First leg, which is a bonus because Zlatan, we love him. We
still love him.
Yeah. Milan are a decent side. Some decent players. We should have enough. And in my opinion, this should be a final, really. Like Milan and Man United, that should be Europa. Yeah. You'd want that as a Europa League final.
Once upon a time it would have been.
At the end of the day, if you want to win the competition, if you want to go all the way, you can't moan if you draw a tough team.
Got to beat them at some point.
It's a cup competition. You can't avoid. It's like the UFC. You can't avoid fights. No. If you want to win the title, you've got to fight top contenders.
Yeah,
that's just
you're going to get them at some point, whether it's at the top or whether it's
exactly. Yeah. And you would argue it's probably better to get a side like a Milan over 2 legs, because at least you've got planning, you've got thinking time, you've got 2 90
minutes, be a bit more strategic,
as opposed to a one-off final where Zlatan can turn it on and you go, So we should have enough, but the way we're going at the moment and our recent results, something has to change with people, players up and about. Someone needs to be in that dressing room.
Up and about, I love that term.
Up and about, someone needs to shake something up.
Yeah, I agree.
They need to pull the finger out.
I agree. We're the same. Yeah, I think this weekend, starting with Chelsea again, we've got to go again. We've got to take our chances, like I said, and we've got to keep kicking on. And it's not, for me, it's not so much about winning every week. We've just got to stop losing, because once you lose, the heads go down. You know, the players that are playing, who might not be our first choice lads. Again, it's debilitating. It brings that fatigue in when there's the frustration there. And I think if we can go away and have a good performance at Chelsea, we bring that on to Leipzig in the week. Fairly confident there. You know, we cruised through that game really, especially the second half.
Yeah.
After we got that first half hour out of the way, we were the better side, and I'm confident that we can come through them as long as our heads are up, spirits are up. We start bringing these new players, the fresh legs back in. Just got to keep everyone fit and keep firing. But busy times can only get better. Yeah, last week was dull. Let's kick on this week.
Things can only get better.
Yes, Barlow himself.
That's it. So anyway,
Ken. Yeah. All right, that's enough footy chat. We're gonna briefly, and I mean briefly, have a look at last week's UFC card.
Yeah.
Because, like I said at the start, unremarkable was the word. There was one, of note, there was one good scrap.
Pedro
Munoz, Jimmy Rivera. We said that would be the one to watch, and it was.
Yeah.
Those boys deliver. Mm-hmm. Went the distance somehow. Don't know how I went the blue distance. I love it. I like watching both of them. I think they're both incredible. The Rivera throws bombs and keeps coming forward. For a little bloke, you can just, the noise his gloves make when it connects, it's unreal.
Yeah.
And then you've got Munoz, who was just swinging those leg kicks. And it's another example of this new phenomenon almost that most people haven't figured out yet, is these low calf kicks, which are just so debilitating.
Devastating.
So, it was one of the main factors that McGregor lost against Poirier. We've seen it heaps, and this was another example of it. And to be fair to Rivera, he stuck in there, didn't he? And although he was less effective, less powerful, but he kept coming forward. He never stopped coming forward, did he? And they deserve the fight of the night on that one, really.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, if you're chopping down a tree, you chop it at the bottom.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? It just completely debilitates them.
You don't trim the leaves. Straight for the guts.
Horticulture references.
That's it. Chop the leg. Don't care how good you are. Chop the legs. The movement goes.
Yep.
You know.
Would you watch that again? Because that was the second time they fought. Because I don't think either of them are particularly in the mix for title shots yet. There's things going on above them, isn't there? And that's got to play out a little bit. For them two, I would watch them in a 5-round main event.
Yeah.
On a fight night or whatever. I mean, whether Jimmy Rivera wants to get back in there and do that again, I don't know. It's bloody painful and probably takes a while to recover from, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But I'd watch it again.
Yeah, 100%. And I think in these COVID times that we've been through, having two people like Munoz and Riviera that are both keen to scrap each other again probably or whatever, have them always in your back pocket, because when there's a weak card or something falls off, they're an easy one to go, you, fight agreement, battle agreement, no worries, right.
5 rounds.
2 weeks. Sweet.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Next.
Yeah.
I guess we should talk about the main event. It had all the makings of a great scrap, and what it turned out to be was a really sensible performance from Cyril Gane, which is, it is what it is. Like if you're the fighter and his job is to go out there and win, he did exactly the right thing. Wasn't great to watch though. From a man's perspective. Would you agree?
100%. And it had flashes of Adesanya Romero. One turned up looking to fight, and the other was like
didn't want to lose.
Yeah,
basically
dangerous. Got to watch out.
Yeah.
So like you say, Cyril Gane got the win. Most important, still undefeated, rising up those. The heavyweight.
He
division.
looks good.
Yeah,
like
he looks good.
like for his. I forget how big he is until you stand him next to another heavyweight, because Rosenstruck's massive, and I thought Gane made Rosenstruck look small.
Yeah.
Didn't he? It was weird. Yeah. But for someone of his size, he's very mobile, very long, lean for that size. He's got that wicked jab. He's got everything there. He did the sensible thing. He didn't really get involved in a scrap, which I think is what Rosenstruck would have liked to do.
Yeah.
But he wasn't going to initiate it.
No.
He was throwing leather. And when he threw, you were like, oh my, Jesus, he got death in those hands. But he didn't do it enough. He didn't take the impetus he didn't take the fight to Cyril Gane, did he?
No.
He was waiting for Gane to come to him, and he was hoping to counter.
Yeah.
And Gane was happy to stand on the outside, keep jabbing, clinch, wrestle a bit on the fence. He did enough. But in a lot of people have been saying this, and you sound like a bit of a broken record, but in this era of social media and the hype of everything, if you want to become a star, if you want to get these big opportunities on big cards, you've got to seize the moment. And he missed his chance to see, because there's loads going on in the heavyweight division.
Certainly when it's a stacked division.
Yeah, there's loads going on there.
You've got to stand out from the crowd, i.e. Corey Sandhagen.
Yeah, you've got to do something that's going to make people be like, whoa, I want to watch him. Whether or not you deserve the next title shot based on your record or not, if the people think you do, you do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of power in that. There's a lot of power in... We've seen it recently where fights have been moved up cards because people are talking about it. Yeah. Tom Aspinall, for one, was supposed to open with the prelim card the other week.
Yeah.
Ended up on the... Did he headline?
Main card.
Open the main card because people were talking about it. If people are interested in you and you're exciting and you deliver on the night, it doesn't matter where you're ranked.
No.
It doesn't matter. The UFC is about numbers, and you've got to put yourself in a position to capitalise on it, and they had a chance there, headlining a mediocre card. But if they'd have done something, everyone would have been talking about it because nothing else happened.
Yeah,
missed it. You got the win. Good for you. Doesn't really move you on them.
No, and I think Jairzinho, similar to when Ngannou rose very quickly, and Miocic shut him down, went back to the drawing board. That work in the gym paid off, came back even better. That's what Jairzinho has to do now. It's almost it kind of came too quickly and go, this is the guy in the division to watch. No, it's not.
Not yet.
Cyril Gane has just shown you on 8 professional fights in the sport, you've just nullified.
You've got to take risks, haven't you?
Yeah.
You can't be a Tyron Woodley champ.
No.
Where you don't take risks. You can get away with it. You can win a belt that way.
And I think
you can't keep doing it.
And I think the problem for Jairzinho is that it's quite clear to me that he tuned in and watched last week's main event in the heavyweights, and he saw Blades get knocked out. And that's he's obviously been having nightmares all week going,
don't do that.
Oh my God, that's what heavyweights can do to you. Hey, so as if he's kind of watched that and gone,
well, he got sparked by Francis as well, didn't he? So he's experienced it. Like he knows.
I don't want that again.
No.
So maybe it was a part of that. So it's kind of having two heavyweight main events so close together.
Yeah.
It's kind of, he's gone.
And you know what he's probably done to himself now, Cyril Gane? Rather than skip the queue, he's probably booked himself a date with Volkov.
Yeah.
Which is a fucking nightmare for anyone.
Yeah.
So that's what you get on the... You could have jumped the queue, and he hasn't now, and now he's going to be fed to the wolves.
Yeah.
unfortunate, and that's unfortunate for the UFC because they were building. They're building Gan, weren't they? You know, he looks the part. You know, he's got the background for it. He's fairly new, clean record, yada yada yada, and he's probably just cooked his own goose by not capitalising.
And the legalisation of MMA in France last year plays a factor.
Yeah.
Bellator.
The problem is now, we might end up getting something like that in France against a Volkov and friggin' losing. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just not. He didn't set himself up right. But anyway, he got the win. Who are we to say that's not good enough? Because he's done his job. That's what he got paid. He got paid twice. He got his win bonus. You know.
Yeah.
Did what he came to do.
Good on him.
Good on him. But it doesn't do much for your reputation.
No.
Doesn't do much for the fans division.
Yeah.
But he got to win. So
we need to see another fight before we're sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's exactly right. And that was about all I want to talk about from that card because it was a bit of a snooze fest.
Exactly.
It does not often that happens, and you know, we're backing it up now with what's potentially going to be one of the best events you'll probably ever friggin' see in your life.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think it is worth noting that UFC don't always get it right, and not so much UFC, but the fighters don't always deliver.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes a reminder to appreciate when it does deliver how fucking awesome it is.
Yeah.
So we'll have a look. UFC 259 this weekend is one of the best cards that you'll ever.
Couple of good fights.
There's a couple of good fights. It's stacked from early prelim through the prelims to that main card. It is names. It is exciting prospects. It's obviously 3 title fights, which is very, very rare. You don't get that. I don't know if that's ever happened before, but it's very, very rare. Yeah. Before we get into the whole card, I want to set the stage by. There's three big title fights on this card, and we're not going to break it down now. We'll work in reverse. But before we start, Aljo, Jan, Nunes Anderson, Izzy versus Jan Blachowicz. That's his name. Yeah. Where's the upset? Which one?
And it's worth noting for those that don't know that it's 4 champions.
Yep.
Because Jan is the light heavyweight belt holder, so it's actually 4 champions. Yep. 3 defenses.
4 champions, 3 fights. Yeah.
So where's the upset?
Okay, we'll break it down in a minute, but in kind of one word, where's the upset? There must be an upset. One of them's got to go. You can't all be the way we think it's going to go.
All right.
Where's your upset?
I'm gonna back a horse.
Ooh.
I'm gonna put my neck on the line.
Yep.
Jan.
Which one?
Jan wins.
Blachowicz.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I keep saying PT Jan. I get confused.
Yeah. Blachowicz.
You think Izzy's going to lose? You think that's your shock?
Yes.
Cool. Okay. Good. My shock, and I wouldn't put my house on this.
I know what you're gonna say. Are you gonna say Anderson?
Yeah, I think Megan Anderson might beat Nunes.
Wow.
Ooh, we'll have a look in a minute. Anyway, so we'll go early prelims first. Just quickly going through that. Jake Matthews is on the early prelims. He's maybe the 2nd or 3rd fight in the early prelims. It's harsh on Jake Matthews. What's he got to do?
No. I think it was the best performance.
We beat Sanchez, didn't he?
Last time out was the best.
Didn't get the finish, but he battered
controlled,
him. He's a smart fighter. And again, we're just talking about Cyril Gane and doing what you need to do. He does what he needs to do.
Yeah.
He looks the part. He's well-rounded. He's good everywhere. But he needs that. I thought he had the scalp up with a big name and it doesn't seem to have paid dividends for him. But he has been matched up with someone I hadn't really heard of. Sean Brady. 13-0. 13-0. He's only got 3 fights in UFC. I think this is a bit of a how good are you test. Jake Matthews is almost like I don't know. He's become the gatekeeper there without being a gatekeeper. It's almost a bit like we know Jake Matthews is pretty good. How good are you?
Yeah.
And we're about to find that out. But I really hope Jake Matthews gets it done because I want to see him, jump, and I want to see him get a decent fight because I think he deserves it. He shows up. He does what he's paid to do every single time, and he delivers.
Yeah.
And I think he's got the makings of a star as well down here.
And he's serious about the sport.
There's no messing around. There's no bravado really to him, is there?
And that's what you hope. He puts on a clinic or devastating finish or something like that. He should be storming into Dana's office.
Oh, for sure. What more do you freaking want?
And he goes, Sean Brady was your guy, was there?
Yeah,
you thought he could.
Yeah.
You thought he could kind of mess with me.
Because he's getting all measured. Here he's got this young up and comer 13-0. Record speaks for itself. The last one he had Diego Sanchez, your veteran. Can you beat the veteran? Yeah, did that.
Yeah.
Fucking what do you want? Give me a ranked opponent. Give me a top 15. Give me a top 10. That's what he needs to be saying if he gets the win here. Who knows? I've got my fingers crossed for him because I like him and I always obviously back the Aussies. Yeah. So fingers crossed. We've also got Carlos Ulberg, who's the CKE, the City Kickboxing kind of protege. Came through the Contender series, trains with Izzy and Kai Car France and that crew. I don't know heaps about him, but you know the crew he's got around him. Yeah. Again, it seems to be another star in the making. What do you reckon with that one? Have you looked much into it?
Yeah, I don't know too much about him, but as you say, the company that he's in, Eugene Berman, all those guys, you'd like to think the half decent type of thing, but then you look at kind of, is it last year Rob Whittaker's mate gets on the card and you go, he's sparring with Rob. He knows Rob. Well, he must have just met him. He must have just met him in the pub like the week before and goes, "Hey Rob, how's it? Trying to fight?" So you go, he's got something about him, and then he comes in and goes, actually no, he's short. And I'm still not sold on Kai Kara France. I'm still not sold on him.
That's actually the next one I was going to touch on there. So my thoughts with Kai Kara France is he needs a win. What he treats us to every time, without fail, is an entertaining and exciting fight, which is great. I feel like I'm contradicting what I've just said a minute ago. Entertaining, he just had the battle with Brandon Royval, didn't he? And that was a high ranked opponent, and he's worked his way up the division. I think he's ranked about 8 in that flyweight division, but he's got to put some wins together. Now he's fighting a young Brazilian, but what he needs to do is be a bit smarter. And again, I am massively contradicting what I've just said, but it depends where you are in the division. We know that this guy can be super entertaining, but almost he's too flashy and leaves himself open. He is an entertainer. He gets his fight the night bonuses, which is great. But again, you're not going to climb the division by looking good. No. You've got to look good and win at the same time. You've got to be able to back that up, which is a really hard balance to have, and only the best do it, and that's why the best. Exactly. That's why you've got Izzy Adesanya, because he looks great, but he wins when he does it. He doesn't look great and then gets sparked. Yeah. I think that's the problem with Kai Kara France. He needs a sensible performance here, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. And in that division, you look at the people that you kind of write off early, and you go, Brandon Moreno against Figueiredo. Good luck, mate.
Yep.
We even said it ourselves. It'd be done in 2 or 3 rounds.
Yep.
Suddenly, he puts on a performance like that, and you go, what? And he didn't get the win, but the way he approached it and his game plan worked, and suddenly you go, whoa, he could actually be champion. So it doesn't take much in that division. Those smaller guys, doesn't take much to slowly get 1 or 2 fights, and you're top 2, top 3. Somebody drops out of a fight, you're in with it. You've got a title shot.
So I think you back that team around him. You back that Eugene Bergman. I think I really rate him, and you just want him to just reel him in, just tighten him up a little bit, and then you've got again potential star there from that team. So really looking forward to that. Next up on the prelims, Joe Benavidez and Askar Askarov. We all know Joe Benavidez. He's almost that. He's the key to a title shot, isn't he now?
Yeah.
He's been there and thereabouts. He's been that number 1 contender for such a long time. Yeah. And it's now almost like he's the one you've got to get through to get to that title shot level, to get to that number 1 contender. Yeah. Askar Askarov, I've seen him he's fought quite regularly, hasn't he? And he's very consistent.
Yeah. Fight Island, I think he did a couple of fights.
Yeah, he did a couple on Fight Island. He's coming off 2 decision wins, 2 3-rounders, and a draw with Brandon Moreno. So, drawn with the guy who's now fighting for the title, 2 decision wins. So I think he's solid. He's good everywhere. Yeah. One of those Russian wrestlers, but good everywhere. And now he's going to come up against Benavidez. The question I think for Benavidez is, has he still got it? How much does he want it?
Is your heart in it?
Is your heart still in it? Are you able to keep up now? Because he still looked great, in a sense, against Figueiredo, in the context of we know how good Figueiredo is. He's still fast. Yeah. He's still quite powerful for his size. Figueiredo is just a level above. And the question is he a level above everybody else, or is he just a lot better than Benavidez? I think Askar Askarov's going to really test him.
Yeah, and I worry with Benavidez, the longevity, the miles on the clock. He's took some big shots in his career.
Massively.
Have you still got the chin?
Yep.
Can he still take the big shots?
Yeah.
Because if this Askar Askarov is hungry, coming up, got a point to prove, he sees Benavidez as he was the gatekeeper or the staple of the division and the measuring stick for so long.
Yep.
Well, we'll fill these hands and we'll see if he can.
What do you think?
I want Benavidez to win, but I think it's going to be very difficult. I'm gonna say an Askarov decision win,
I agree.
and then I think Benavidez. Not saying it's gloves, but I'm saying he has to make a decision.
Well, the slide starts, and once you lose this one now, that slow decline starts, doesn't it? And I agree. I completely agree. I had him down for a decision win. I think Benavidez is still tough, and he's got the heart, hasn't he? And I think he'll just be outpointed everywhere. I think this Askarov will just have his number just about everywhere, and he'll do just enough to get that win and kick on. And I do worry. I don't think it'll be curtains for Joe, but I do think it'll be the start, the beginning of the end. You know, we might see. Depends on what his contract is. He might fire his contract. But it's going to be the sliding down the division now, and you've got to do it for the love of it rather than getting back to the top. So I think he's going to be a way off that now. Dominic Cruz, so headlining the prelims. Dominic Cruz, you never wouldn't have thought you'd seen Dominic Cruz on a prelim card, would you? For
only
a long
when he's
time.
commentating.
I know. And he's fighting Casey Kenny, which is a tough ask. And Casey Kenny is another one who rose to prominence on Fight Island. I forgot his name. I wrote it down before. Who did he fight that he kicked his legs to death?
He
was like a Mongolian kind of fellow, wasn't he? Or
I know what you mean.
I wrote his name. Alateng. Alateng something.
Yeah.
Might have been on the first kind of installment of Fight Island, and he kicked his leg to death, and then he really kind of made a statement that it was just like a devastating win. I think it was a decision in the end, but Jesus, how that guy kept in there, I don't know. He then backed up against Nathaniel Wood, didn't he? And it was a much closer fight. Won the decision. I think it could have gone either way, but I think I wouldn't argue with that decision. So, you know, he's slowly coming up that division. Why has Dominic Cruz accepted that fight, do you reckon?
Maybe, not say he didn't have a choice, but maybe it was. I don't know. I remember when it was announced, we were talking, saying this doesn't make this does not make zero. There's nothing to gain from Dominic Cruz other than activity of fighting. No. But it's like it doesn't kick you on to a.
Because what's Dom's game now? What's he after? He's not after the title, is he? Surely.
Well, he obviously thinks he's still good enough for the title. Like when, Dillashaw's, and he obviously still thinks he can mix with them. So it's like, so why are you doing this fight? Yeah. So has Dana give him no option to say, well, you've got to, this up and comer, you've got to kind of put on something. You've got to give a performance. You've got to put something on.
Yeah, right.
For us to kind of not say trust you again, but in terms of. But what's Dominic Cruz?
What's he got to gain from this?
And what's he not proved?
No, exactly. Yeah, I don't. Just based off when we've seen him last, I don't think he's anywhere near the title again.
No.
I think that it's a bit like that thing where you're out for a little while and the sport moves quite quickly now.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be left behind. But at the same time, he's a very smart guy. He's an analyst brain as well now. It really helps. For me, he must have seen something in Casey Kenny that he thinks, I'll beat him.
Yeah.
He must have seen something. But at the same time, looking at it from my perspective, Dom's all about, unorthodox movement. If he gets his legs kicked out, he's toast. What's he going to do?
Exactly. And what's
he going to do?
You can guarantee that's Casey's game plan.
If I'm Casey, I'm kicking the shit out of his calves straight away, all over it. Because it's his biggest weapon is his movement, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I don't know. Unless Dom thinks he can avoid those kicks, or he's got the antidote for it, or he's going to bum rush him. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he's not an idiot. Unless he's been forced to have this fight, which I can't see. He must see something.
Yeah.
But I can't see it going any other way than Casey Kenny, if I'm entirely honest. Really? I honestly think, I don't see how Dom wins it. Because I think his main weapon is going to be right in the firing line of Casey Kenny's main weapon. I guess we'll see.
Himself on the ground? I don't know. Possibly.
He must, like I said, he must see something I don't see.
Yeah.
For him to want to take this on a prelim.
Yeah.
But it begs the question again, what's he after? Is he just after entertaining fights now? Has he given up on the belt and he's just like, let's just have some entertaining scraps? Have a few more fights because it's still in me because I want to do it.
Yeah.
But I'm not harbouring any hope to get back there. Yeah. There's a couple of legends in my division now, so maybe I just do that type of thing.
Yeah. Or exactly like we said with Joe, how many fights has he got left? Is this his last fight in his contract before he's kind of full time?
Yeah, we don't know, do we?
We just don't know, kind of. So he's gone. Is this like a passing of the torch moment and gone right? I'll have the, young whippersnapper. And
you wouldn't want on a prelim, would you?
No,
if you're Dom Cruz.
I don't get it.
I think we'll only know when we see it. We'll see it unfold and we'll be like, oh, that's what he's seen. Or he'll get sparked and we'll be like, well, that's why he's just going out the back door type of thing.
Yeah. I will go with Dom because he's not a dumb guy.
No.
He obviously knows what we don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you with that. I think he knows something, but I wouldn't back him. I would back Casey Kenny in this one.
Yeah.
Main card. It opens with an absolute barnstormer.
Yeah.
My days. And you know why this is... It's an amazing fight, but it's a great matchup. The reason being because these two guys both need to win, but they both need to win in style.
Yeah.
If you remember a couple of months ago, we slaughtered Rakic, didn't we, after his performance against Anthony Smith?
Yep.
Because he didn't finish the friggin' fight.
Yeah.
And he keeps coming up.
like he did.
Yeah.
Acted like he did.
Like he'd starched him and like he was an amazing performance. And we were like, you didn't. Again, Cyril Gane, we just mentioned it. You didn't put your foot down. You had a chance to solidify yourself and almost throw yourself into a title shot, and you didn't do it, and you missed your shot. Now he's got a chance to do it. Unfortunately, he's got to fight the fucking beast that is Thiago Santos, who, coming off the back of a big knee injury and a fight against John Jones, lost to Glover Teixeira, who, there's no shame in that because he's number one contender really in that division now. If it wasn't for Izzy coming up and fighting Yan, he'd be in the title shot, wouldn't he? So there's no shame in that. But they both need a win, and they both throw fucking heat. Who would you favour in this?
I'm going Santos.
Why?
I like Santos for one, so maybe I'm...
Nice fella.
Yeah, he's a good guy. But I think, and obviously, there's the knee injury, the Glover, but I think he would have learned a lot from the Glover fight. And I think Thiago Santos, in my opinion, beat John Jones. I would say. I would argue.
How many times are we going to say that between him, Reyes?
I know.
Mad, I know. Yeah.
Potentially, I would say probably beat him. So
with no legs.
Yeah. So, and you saw his missus fight last week, Yana, who pulled off a massive upset win. Obviously, they trained together. They've clearly been working. Every time you kind of see them in social media, they're always working hard. He's kind of coaching her, and I think they're both really serious still. Really serious about this game. And I just think Thiago Santos will try and not say ragdoll him a bit, but I think he will kind of use that size that he's got, that big physique, and just kind of get in close and make it really difficult for Rakic to, whip some leg kicks. Or I think Santos will try, get it nice and close, clinch up, maybe throw him down, stay on top of him, very, very Lesnar-like, where it's kind of like you say, get the win and just smother. I think he will do something like that, use his big physique and make it difficult for Rakic. I
like where you ended up there because I think the route to victory for Santos is probably on the ground.
Yeah.
He also because he got submitted in his last fight, and he's supposed to be the black belt, isn't he? And it's like he'll want to get that one back, I think.
Yeah.
They both, they're both ridiculously powerful strikers. Yeah. But I think there's a massive advantage to Santos on the ground, although he can also throw bombs as well. So they can easily catch each other. But I think if you're Santos played it smart, wanting to win, you can have a spectacular submission and still be entertaining and still stomp your foot down. Yeah. But there's a safer path to do that, and I think that's what he would do. So I agree. I think he's there to win for Santos on the ground. If it stays standing, Rakic is very, very dangerous.
I hope if Santos pulls off the win, I hope Santos is in his face, just celebrating in front of him. Like, yeah, mate.
Give him the beans.
Yeah, like he was with Smith.
Next one up, a weird one, and it's weird that it's so high up the card a little bit, isn't it? Makhachev, finally, seeing him fight. We've not weighed in yet, so we'll see. But he's fighting Drew Dober, lightweight division. For me, it's do or die for Makhachev. He's had so many chances now where I don't know what's going on, but his illness, his missed weight, whatever. He's fallen off. He's had these chances with RDA, missed out. Now he's fighting Drew Dober, who is not that big of a name, tough opponent, not that big of a name. They were matched up years ago, and you would have thought that, it seems almost, the perception that I have and that a lot of people have, is that Makhachev is leagues above Dober, but he's not in the rankings, is he?
No.
Because he rarely fights anymore. And that's why I think it's do or die for him, because there's an expectation here that he wins. If he doesn't win, and he doesn't win fairly impressively, he's going to miss the boat in this lightweight division. A win means you've got there's so many opportunities there. So many opportunities. Yeah. Everyone's looking for a fight in that division.
Yeah.
you don't win, and if you don't win impressively, what a massive anticlimax, isn't that?
Mhm.
What do you think that the hype is justified for Makachev, or do we not know yet?
The only marker of whether Makachev is the real deal. Makachev.
Rockports and like
Burberry hat, cider, is I leverage off the fact, and I know they're biased, but the words and the way that DC and Khabib both talk about him,
Yep.
I don't think they would necessarily pump somebody's tyres up or very much say what they say about, he can be champion, he can, go all the way type of thing if he didn't kind of know that. And
but he's got to show up, hasn't he?
Yeah, of course. And I would say for Makachev, let's leave Luke Rockhold out, but if you can't learn and kick on in a camp with it was Cain Velasquez, DC, Khabib.
Yep.
I mean, surely you've got good wrestling, mate.
Oh,
surely.
I'm sure DC made a comment this week on the Helwani show that solely wrestling, Makachev's better than Khabib. Right. At solely wrestling.
Yeah.
He's a better wrestler.
Yeah.
Which is fucking it's something to behold. I just want to see it.
Yeah.
I think, and that's what it comes down to. I'm looking forward to this fight because I want to see if there's a mantle ready to be taken up in that lightweight division as Khabib leaves. He could be this new Dagestani dangerous guy.
And in his camp.
Yeah, massively. Yeah.
Khabib goes, do you remember Khabib? And he goes, yeah, it's Makachev's gym.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
DC's moved on. Velasquez moved on. Khabib's moved on, we think.
And the winner of Vidoba's not going to propel you up the ranks, but like we were saying, what will propel you up the ranks is a dominant performance.
Yep.
Doesn't matter who it is. Go out there, put your foot down, show that you're dangerous, get on the mic, call everybody out above you. Everyone. Because you've already got the name. Yep. You'll get a big fight. They'll all want to fight you now.
Exactly.
So, yeah, very interesting.
And that's why they put it together, because Dana's clearly saying, show me something.
Yeah. I feel like he's been matched with Dober because should win this. It's designed for you to win it, but it'll also tell me if you don't win it, that it's not for you. This isn't for you. For whatever reason, it's not working out. He's gotta win. And I want to say I think he will, but I don't know. Yeah. I haven't seen enough of him. I don't know.
I know. And then when you've got those kind of, like you say, in that division, when you've got those people on losses, you've got the veterans and the ones in the game, your RDAs, your Tony Fergusons, the UFC want to see a big performance because they're ready to push the button.
Yeah, right.
Now we go. Now it's Tony Ferguson. Now whoever.
Don't forget, there's you got these Fire Island, Abu Dhabi cards. Chimaev may or may not be retired. They need another star over there. Dana's probably like, fucking come on,
please
do it. Light this division on fire.
Yeah,
we'll see. I don't even want to put a prediction down. He should win.
Yeah,
he should win.
I'm gonna say 30-26.
Do you think he's going to dominate him?
Dominate him.
Right, okay.
Just wrestle him. Just not let him get up.
Right.
Just let's wrestle, mate. Let's wrestle.
Does he not need a finish, though? Does he go for a finish, or is he happy to wrestle?
I think he's happy to wrestle, but yeah, that's the argument. Does a dominant?
Is it enough?
Does a dominant? If you get 2 10-8s, now is that dominant?
Yeah, maybe. It'll put you in the shot window at least. Yeah. Right. First of the title fights, cracker to kick off with. Petr Yan and Aljamain Sterling. Long time coming for Aljamain, I think. Been there or thereabouts for a while. Beating everyone in that division, really impressive against Corey Sandhagen. Even more so when you've seen what Sandhagen's done since with the 2 knockouts he's had. I guess I'll come to you on this one. How do you see this one playing out?
So, my predictions at the end of last year, when we talked about our champions, I said that Yan would get past Sterling and Yan would hold the belt till the year end, and this will be his only fight for the year.
Right.
Because of COVID, because of all champions can't, some internationals can't always fight. There's only so many people you can put on a Fight Island card. Yep. So I've got to stick by that. But obviously the closer it's getting, it's leaning more to Sterling, but I made my bed in December, whenever it was. So I'm going Petr Yan.
Awesome.
But I just don't know how it's done.
Okay.
That's what I'm struggling to kind of piece together. But I will say Jan, and
it's going to be great, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I really can't call it.
No, it's hard. My thing with this one is, I really like Aljamain Sterling. I think he's got that unorthodox movement. He's got a very unique style. Wizard on the ground, obviously.
Yeah.
I favour Sterling early on. I think he wins this fight. If he wins this fight, he wins it early. He's going to have to get in Jan's face, catch him cold, probably take him down and submit him on the ground early. He's got to do it early. The longer it goes on, we see him with the Aldo fight, Petty Jan and Aldo. Jan got better as it went on, got warmed up, started to flow better. His boxing is ridiculously good. He's able to control distance really well. Power in his hands. I think the longer it goes, if he's able to drag Aljamain Sterling through the rounds, I don't know if he's going to have the power to finish him, but I do think he'll outpoint him.
Right.
For a prediction though, do we go bold? Because I guess it's an upset if Jan loses, right? That would be Jan's probably the favourite.
Oh, you'd like to think so. Every champion should be favourite, really.
Yeah.
First champion. Yeah.
I love Aljamain Sterling's team. What I thought was interesting is he trains closely with that Dashvili, who's very like Petty Jan.
Yeah.
Training week in, week out with Ali Quinter, good boxer, Ray Longo, Matt Serra. I love that team.
Yeah.
I might put it on the line and I might say Sterling with maybe a second round submission.
Okay. I will say Jan. Round 4 TKO.
Right. Punches.
Yeah. Just relentless.
Boxes his head off.
Catches him. Sterling goes down or stumble, and then Jan sees it as opportunity to just.
Yeah. Okay. Gets a finish.
Yeah.
Awesome. Next one. This is the shock I pick. For me, it's a battle of its mindset, its skill, its desire. We've all written, the world has written Anderson off. This is Nunes's to lose. You know, she's the best. She's so dominant. She comes in, fucking smashes her to bits. She's doing this fight because she has to, because there's nobody else. That's the narrative of this whole fight. But then when I look at Megan Anderson, she's a specimen. She's massive. True 145er. Long legs, long arms, big reach. She's good on the ground. She should be a bloody problem for anyone.
Yeah.
She should be a real problem. Now, for Nunes, new mother. I've watched some of the embeddeds this week and it's all very lovey-dovey in the camp and it just makes you be like, oh Christ, she's still got that killer instinct, which is really funny and I don't like saying it because it's almost sexist in a way. We've seen so many times when fighters become fathers, it's like, oh, it makes them a new thing. And then I found myself thinking when she was a young mother, oh, she's gone soft
distracted.
now. And I'm like, surely it's the same thing. It doesn't, maybe this should spur her on, and maybe this she wants to do it for a young daughter, and
Yeah.
But I don't know why, because it's a mother thing. Everyone's like, oh no, she's she's a mother now.
Yeah.
You have to catch yourself thinking it and be like, doesn't work.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But it's quite, it's an unknown. I think Anderson's got to come in there and use a range. That's how she wins. Similar to what we saw Kamal Usman do with that jab. Anderson's got to do the same. Keep her at range. Use that jab. Perfect it. Keep her at range with leg kicks. Fucking stay away from Nunes as much as you can, because if Nunes gets you in the clinch, she's very dangerous. And if she gets you into a ground and pound position on the ground, you're toast. Because she's so dangerous. She's vicious there. I think Anderson can win, but she's got to be very smart about it. Whether she's got the power, we will see. I don't know. But I think of all those fights, this is the shock that I think is most likely.
Yeah.
I think nobody's expecting Anderson to win. And I think maybe Nunes isn't. And maybe she might underestimate her. Maybe Megan Anderson is better than we think she is. And maybe her build is going to be a massive advantage to her. Am I talking absolute shite?
No, I know what you mean. Like you say, you look at her and you go, the style, she's so tall, long limbs, she's great pedigree, where she's come from, and I remember everyone, the talk when Megan Anderson was signed, it was always, Anderson Cyborg, this is going to be like the best women's fight of all time. And then it just never. Obviously
She didn't have the best start in the UFC, did she? She made a debut against Holly Holm, didn't she?
Yeah.
So she got thrown into the really deep end, to be fair to her.
Yeah. And like I say, this is what we don't know with kind of how Nunes is, training in the gym, and all that. But at the same time, Nunes hits like a truck.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, I can't recall. I mean, I don't know kind of if Megan Anderson's got many KO losses on her record.
I didn't see many.
So she can obviously take a shot.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
But then it's not Nunes.
But then you're not being hit by Nunes.
So, and I would say Nunes, in terms of that rangy movement and that kind of stand-up style, I would say that Nunes' performance against Holly Holm was very good. And because I was fairly like,
could be dangerous. It's the same problem, isn't it?
I was thinking Holly Holm shocked the world with Ronda. Can she kind of do it again? Like kickboxing style, rangy, in and out, like she was with Ronda, and you go, wow, dangerous. And then suddenly, I think Nunes, she pulled out a head kick or something like that.
Last thing we saw coming.
And kind of beat her at her own game.
Yeah.
So, not to say it's going to go the same, because I don't know how high you have to put your leg to kick Megan Anderson. But I'm just seeing something where Nunes goes, similar to Cyborg, just stand up, we're going. Bang,
I think that's what she needs.
Like, it'll be.
She could end it really quick.
Can you take these?
Yeah. She could just bull rush her.
But then if Megan Anderson survives round one, and she's still in the fight,
it'd be unbelievable if she won
tiredness
this.
is a factor with submissions and everything.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
As I say, I'll take it back. I've always said Joanna versus Rose. I said the bookies were 9-1. Me and Adam Lane, shout out Adam Lane, laughed. We was at the Summer House Hostel watching the fights, and we said, printing money, put all your money on Joanna, because Rose hasn't got a chance in hell. And then Rose shocks the world.
Yeah. You've always got a chance.
You've always got a chance. So I'd love to know what Megan Anderson is paying against Nunes. I reckon it'll be 4.5 to $5 to get the win.
So be giving her no chance.
Yeah. And Megan by submission, I bet it's paying a nice $1. So who knows? Maybe that's one to look out for.
I love it, honestly. That's my if I'm calling a shock out of these three, that's my shock.
Yeah.
Which leads, I guess, onto the main event, Izzy and Jan. Which again is funny because it's like, which is the shock? Because the world seems to be expecting Izzy to win this. Jan's the champ, and Jan is fucking one powerful dude. Sparked Reyes in his last fight, won the belt. But Izzy's man, and it's a bit like, I feel a bit like this. How I felt like when Conor was fighting Poirier, and I was massively wrong, but I couldn't picture a way Conor lost.
Yeah.
And when I'm this, I'm like, I don't see how Izzy loses.
Yeah.
Because I just think his movement's gonna be so elusive. He's gonna, similar to what Costa did, I guess, he's gonna lure Jan in and knock him out, or at least TKO him. The thing with Izzy in this one is, he's 20 pounds heavier. So Jan is hitting a lot harder than anybody else. We saw Izzy get hit against Kevin Gastelum.
Yep.
We saw him be, stunned. If that happens against Jan, he puts your lights out. I don't care who you are. So Izzy, if he's going to play the same game that he plays, the like being out of range, but being just out of range and then countering, he's got to be perfect against Jan Blachowicz.
Yeah.
He can't slip up. He's got to keep moving. He's got to frustrate Jan and draw him into his game, and he's got to do what he always does: hit him with those counter shots, put him away. Can he do it? That's the big question.
And this is why I'm backing Jan Blachowicz for the upset.
Yeah, right.
Because I completely agree. If anybody can put on a perfect display at range, put on a clinic, it's Israel Adesanya.
Perfect is the word.
Perfect, yes. No slip-ups. Israel is able to do that.
Yep.
And yet, who am I to back against Israel Adesanya? Middleweight champion, unbelievable. But you're not big enough. I don't feel you're big enough. And I think, because, there was no guarantee when Jan fought Reyes, everyone was like, oh, Reyes, that stand, and it's, I can't compare Reyes and Izzy, of course, but in terms of, Reyes will cause him problems and he's kind of like unorthodox or a different style.
Yep.
And Jan just goes, we'll see, boom.
Yeah, right.
And he's crumpled. So I've just got a feeling that Jan only needs a couple of shots, and he's down.
He'll be a lot bigger than Izzy.
He's been knocked out before, Izzy. We've seen videos when he's in kickboxing, different where he's crumpled, Gastelum. There's been a moment, and I just find, and I feel as though, like Conor Diaz, it's a serving of humble pie.
Mm.
You've come through your adversity. Now you'll become even better out the other side, potentially.
Potentially.
And also, you've got the excuse. Who am I? He's the lightweight champion, the bigger guy.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go back down, and I'm going to piece up the middleweights.
Yeah.
Your excuse is written, and it's obviously. And I'm not particularly a fan of Adesanya. I think this is the time where, fingers crossed, humble pie is served.
It's gonna be. I'm so excited for it.
Mm-hmm.
So excited for it. But I agree. I think he's played his cards, hasn't he? He's come up to this, and it's great. We love it. We were just saying about this. He's shooting his shot.
Yeah.
He's doing the impossible. He's a massive jumping weight. Massive, 20 pounds. He's gonna be fighting a much bigger guy, but he's confident in himself. He's got that Conor blind confidence of just like, I'll fucking do it.
Mm.
He probably knows in the back of his mind, I have to be perfect.
Yeah.
I can win this, but he can't hit me.
Mm-hmm.
If he hits me, I'm fucking toast.
Yeah.
But he believes that he can do it. He believes he can get through this fight without getting hit.
Yeah.
That to me, that is his plan. That is his thought. He'll have sat down with Eugene Bergman and gone, he won't catch us.
Mm-hmm.
We can beat him because he won't be able to hit you.
Yeah.
And that's the game plan. That is we're throwing all our chips on. Don't get fucking chinned.
And I think I've come with this theory in terms of the Blachowicz beating Israel and humble pie and all this, and kind of the size. Because, as you know, I'm reading Michael Bisping's book at the moment, and there's a chapter where he talks about he was starting off at light heavyweight and realised that what he's walking around at, people are cutting.
Yeah.
And then he goes, actually, do I push myself and get down to middleweight?
Yeah.
And that's where he found his success. And I just feel it's one of those things where, come the weigh-in, he's weighing in at 193, 195.
You reckon he's going to be under the limit, doesn't he?
193, 195. Jan will be weighing in at 205, cutting weight.
Yeah. It'll be 230.
So what does he walk around? What's his
220.
normal weight? And don't forget, it's not just that. He's still got the power of... he walks around at that.
Yeah.
You're taking on a 220, 225, 230 guy.
Yeah, you're taking on heavyweight, aren't you?
You're
middleweight.
You're 195 with bricks in your pockets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Is he banking on the fact that Jan is going to walk onto his punches?
Yeah.
He's going to come sorry, not walk onto him.
Yeah.
He's going to come charging onto his punches.
Which
he may well do.
Can happen.
May well do. Yeah. It's going to be super exciting, and I cannot wait to see this main card.
And the good news is we're both together watching the fights in the pub. Sorry for UK fans. I know you don't know what that is. With a roast and a couple of beers.
Doesn't get much better than
Probably
that.
a Guinness.
A Guinness and a roast.
Yeah.
UFC.
Yeah.
Sunday Arvo. Sorted.
Exactly.
I guess we'll leave it there. Mainly because I'm going to watch some footy. I'm going to an actual stadium tonight.
Whoa.
Outdoors, an actual stadium.
Footy is back.
Footy is back.
Pre-season.
Yeah, pre-season, Carlton and Saints Marvel Stadium. So we might have a bit of a AFL to talk about next week. That's exciting.
Yeah, that's
Here
it.
we go.
We finally got our 3 segments back.
Yeah. Amazing. All right, well, thank you, mate. This has been, I'm hyped. I'm ready for the weekend now after last weekend's fucking dull as dishwater. Don't watch last week, but like and subscribe, because this week and next week, when we look back on this week, will be fucking epic.
And especially when Man United beat Manchester City 5-0. And Pep and Guardiola get sacked.
That would be a shock. Jesus. Thanks very much for listening, and we'll see you next week. Cheers, Grant.
Cheers, Matt. Thanks, guys.